What's going on? My name is Cole Connor. This is the first video of 2024, and you know it has to be a Q4 income report. Q4 was pretty crazy, a lot of ups, a lot of downs. We made some money on Etsy. I turned $290 into $3,000 in the stock market. We made money off YouTube. We did real estate stuff, so let's get into Q4. My name is Cole Connor, and I was put here to do three things: create, inspire, love. Thanks for being here. Let's get into it. All right, so we like to just jump into it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you what I made in October, November, and December, and then I'll go through averages and I'll just kind of talk about what happened. Actually, let's do a quick run through of averages of Q1, Q2, Q3. Q1 average was 6,468. Q2 was 5,752. And if you don't know, I'm looking at my iPad here. Q3 average was 8,094, so did really good Q3. And then Q4, October, I made $6,464. November, I made $7,332. And December, I barely scraped by and I made $3,680 because of a lot of payments that got postponed. Not a lot, but I had about 1,000 to 1,500 payments worth of payments get postponed till after December. So that was very unfortunate and annoying. Okay, let's talk about this. Here's the thing. I am so pissed at myself. In October, I decided to hop back into the stock market. I got to talk about this first. And when I do the stock market, I don't do stocks, I play options. And I've talked about this a little bit before on the channel, and I've been learning a lot and studying it, and I studied it and did it intensely for like 3 weeks in October. And I was so excited and so stoked. And I started with 290, and a lot of this was thanks to a group I was in, where there's lots of them out there, but there's people who are knowledgeable in the stock market, so I would kind of see what they were doing, and then I would make my own decisions about when they got in, when they got out. And anyways, I was able to take a $290 cash account and do like one trade a day. And I pretty much just picked the right trade. It's not quite gambling, but you know, it's there is, I guess, luck involved. But I picked the right trade for a bunch of days in a row. And so that 290 went to 3,000. And I was literally thinking that my life was going to change. And I was having a hard time not thinking about it. And long story short was it's like when you make money easy, sometimes it's so easy to lose it. And the only way I was able to turn it into that much was because I was risking it all every time. And so I made a bad trade, and I lost pretty much most of it, and it was very depressing, and it was sad, and I'm the most mad at myself because I was talking to my dad, and my dad was like, "Dude, you've had a lot of good trades in a row. Why don't you just hop out? Just hop out, take a little break." And if I would have done that, this December probably wouldn't have been as stressful. I could have just taken that 3K and not been stressed and lived okay. But it is what it is. Don't you bark. Hush. That's enough of that. So anyways, if you're in the stock market and you make a bunch of wins, it's okay. If you start to feel like you're getting emotional or you are trading too much or being too risky, I think you should just take a break. This is your sign right now. Take a break. I'm going to get back into the stock market. It took so much time and energy to start with 290 that I'm probably going to get back in when I have 1,000 or so to just kind of play around with. So I'll get back to that. But anyways, so all of my money is made off real estate, photo, video, except for what I'm about to tell you. I don't want to break down. I don't want to do the math on all that, but so what I do is I just tell you the things outside of real estate, photo, video that I make. So in October, I didn't count the stock market profit because I lost it. So it's 6,464 is what I made. I made 158 on SKILLSHARE, so that was pretty nice. I made 61 on Etsy. That was a big thing this quarter, was I started making money on Etsy. I launched my presets in early October, and they've been doing really well, and I'm really happy with them, and I'm been able to make pretty good money, so I love that. That's the only no, actually I made more than that on Etsy. I made 140 on Etsy. And then, yeah, I made 158 on Skillshare. Those are my two creative money makers. So that's also another thing. If you didn't watch my 2024 goals video, which you should totally check out, I talk about how I'm trying to make my income be at least 50-50. So 50% creative, 50% more real estate photo video. That's kind of my goal this year, which right now it's more of like 90-10, which is more than last year. But really trying to ramp that up this year. So I was excited to see the Etsy start to do well. So, and we jumped to November. Like I said, I made $7,332. I made 90 on Etsy, 170 on Shopify. So that's my, I'm still selling presets on there. So Shopify was 170. So that's, 200 and something bucks from my presets, which is great. This was cool. An acting payment came in of 1,500. That was exciting. And that ideally, that would be like a creative venture for me. So if I can like make, I guess it's really, if it's all just kind of split, because acting, if I could get a 1,500 to 2,000, 3,000 payment a month, that would be super helpful and allow me to upgrade in lots of ways. So yeah, that was it. So a lot of money creatively that month with 1,500 in acting, Etsy, and Shopify. And then in December, totally low. I made $3,680. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like I made about $200 to $250 on Shopify and Etsy. So I'm averaging about $200 to $250 a month on Etsy, and that's really cool. I got my biggest YouTube payment, which was $134. I got a payment from DistroKid of $48. And I also started doing Uber and Lyft, or Uber Eats and DoorDash. I'm making a video on them, and I wanted to make extra money because obviously I've made so little. And so far, I could just pull up. Oh, here it is. Uber, I made $100 on Uber, and then DoorDash, I haven't gotten paid yet. So that'll be next month. What I've noticed is with, like, if you're doing Uber or DoorDash as a side hustle, what I'm thinking about doing is doing it maybe in the nights sometime. Like if I'm lowish on money, if I'm really busy, I won't do it. But I just feel like I've been wasting some hours of the day when I really need to be in a making money space. The past couple months, like this whole quarter, I just wasn't really in that space. I think it was because I was, making a decent amount and I felt okay about that. But when December hit, it was just so slow and my bills started doubling in August because I became single, and so I'm living in this apartment by myself. So I don't know, if I have a slow month, that's really detrimental because my rent is $2,400. So if I make 3,600, my rent's 2,400. My other bills, it's like real tight. So I've had to like really tighten it in. And I don't want to have to do that anymore. I want to just start to save money. So my mindset in October, November, December was really creative. I made so many videos. I made so much music. I connected, I collaborated. And so I think I had a little bit of a realization. What's the word? A reality check in December, and I need to focus back on making money. So I'm gonna do that, and I think all the other stuff will happen naturally. And I'm gonna keep doing all that I'm just gonna work harder, really. So what I'm saying with Uber and stuff is if it's slower and I'm not making enough, I think the evenings I could spend 2 to 3 hours, and you make, and it's not a lot of money, but it's like $25 to $30 an hour if you play it right. And I don't find it that draining to do it in the evening because I do all my creative stuff in the morning. So that may be a thing. Hopefully I don't really have to continue it much longer, but I'm going to do it for, probably in January just to make sure I'm good. So that makes an average with my low December of 5,825. Now I'm going to be honest with you. I'm embarrassed at the December number, and it's very frustrating. If you look back, if I go back to January, I'm looking here, of 2023, I made $3,200. So my lowest months continues to be January and December. And let's just go back one step further. If you go back to 2022, I mean, it was way worse. In December of 2021, I made $2,600. So I made about $1,000 less. And then January, I made 2,200. And then February, I made 2,800. So I guess what I'm saying is I was feeling kind of down about how I thought I made less money this year. But if you look at it, I had so many low months in the beginning of 2022 that my year total was 61,000 in 2022, which I'm not going to talk shit on myself, but yeah, 61,000 in 2022. But my total amount in 2023 was 78,421. So let's do the math on that. Calculator. 61,000 divided by 78,000. Let's average. No, how do you do a percentage? This is terrible. Hey Siri, what percentage of 78,000 is 61,000? 23. Okay, so so pretty much in 2023 I made 27% more income, which is great. So I'm proud of myself. I think it's good. It's a step in the right direction. 27% increase is great. So now let's say I kept the same pace for 2024. So let's do a 78,000 times 0.25, 19,000 plus 78,000 equals, boom. So if I keep that same pace of growth, next year I will make about 97,000, which, ideally I would make more. This is what's hard when you're an entrepreneur. So when I was in South Carolina and I had a business before it all fell apart and my ex stole my business and all this whole story, which you can go check out the videos about, there was a year, probably in 2019, where I wish I had it written down, but I remember that there was like several months in a row where my business made about $15,000 a month. Now I did have multiple people working with me. It was not just me that was getting the money, and I probably was just the same amount of broke as I am currently, or at least I feel. And yeah, so when you're an entrepreneur and you look back and you're like, man, when I was 26, I was making $15,000 a month, and now I'm 30 and I'm averaging for the whole year $6,000 a month. It's like, what the fuck? But I think it's part of entrepreneurship, and I think moving to a new city and rebuilding and trying to really make money off more creative ventures it's a struggle. It's not easy, and that's being a creative entrepreneur. You're trying different things, and sometimes you can be unfocused, and it's a journey. But I'm blessed in general. I do have this place. I am able to survive in Los Angeles. I make $6,500 averaged a month in 2023. That's more than a lot of people. That's more than families make. And that's probably in the whole world way more than most people. So I feel okay about that, but that is not the goal for next year. I really would like to average, what is this, 8,000 times 12. I would like to average a minimum of 8,000 a month in 2024. I don't know if it's possible. At this moment, I am already picking back up, business-wise, but I'm still slow. But I think it is doable, and I'm going to work to do it, even if I have to work side hustles. I'm going to start to do more stuff for my production company, Apollo's Bow. I'm going to be willing to work at less hourly, like I'm willing to make less money per hour to move in the direction that I want to move as a business. And I think that's working with more creative people, working in the entertainment film world, and continually building on YouTube. So I hope that's helpful. Like, I don't know, guys, just don't give up. I mean, probably in 2021, I honestly, I wish I wrote it down, but I don't remember. I think I'm probably made around 60 something too. So it's still an upgrade, and I'm still on the come up, and I'm figuring it out. I'm 30 years old. I got a lot of things set up. So this is still the road. This is the road to a millionaire. 25% increase. Let's keep it up. Let's get it. It's not about the money, but the money helps us fuel our dreams. My name is Cole. Stay tuned. We got a lot of good stuff. We as in me. I got a lot of good stuff coming this year. So stay subscribed, like, comment if you like this video, and I'll talk to y'all soon.
I just tell them I got no niche. Please don't speak if you don't know me. I'm so tired of living low-key. Now I'm all in your grill and got you all in your feelings. I just tell them I got no niche. Please don't speak if you don't know me.